Hello and welcome to the Chosen Few, the one and only place for you. My name is Isabel Santine,
And I'm Eli Santine.
and today we are doing a little fun demo of what you can do with virtual machine technology these days. And so basically, a while back, I had the idea of Windows XP, you only need a few gigs of hard drive space to run the entire OS.
Right.
And I'm like, why not have that like disk be in the system's memory, right? Like, because on my rig right now that I'm recording this on, I actually have 64 gigabytes of memory, and Windows XP only requires like two and a half. And so, why not? Let's go ahead and give it a go.
Yeah.
And so we will. So I do have a Windows XP machine already installed just to I was just testing everything out.
Yeah.
But that is not on the RAM disk. That is on the persistent storage. But here in Proxmox, we do see this new storage area that I created called RAM disk. And we see it is 4 gigabytes large. And it uses the Linux temp fs file system driver to write everything to RAM as if it were a file system. And so what we're going to do here is create a new VM.
Yeah. So a little bit of background on why Windows XP specifically. We had our grandparents had a computer that ran Windows XP, and we used to play a lot of games on it as kids. And then when we got into our early teens, we realized that they still had that computer, and we actually booted it up, and it still worked, and it still had XP on it. And uh, although at one point it got thrown away, so ever since we've kind of been on a quest to figure out the best way to run Windows XP within our own household.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we have it installed on at least we used to do a bunch of virtual machines and things like VirtualBox. Then we installed it on an old E-Machines desktop that I had lying around that used to run Windows 7. And then I legit bought a old Windows XP laptop from 2002. But all those things didn't really seem to be enough. I mean, the laptop may have been, but in this case, being able to run it as a VM and being able to remote into it for both of us to use it, that seemed like a very good way for us to install that operating system.
Absolutely. And we're doing a full-on VM setup here. We are not pulling any punches. We're gonna add audio support. We are going to add network support, and we're gonna do it all with the Service Pack 3 installation disk. And yeah, without further ado, we can get started because I've just uploaded the ISO for it. And there's also another ISO I'd like to upload here, the XP bootstrap.iso that I've specifically made for this VM setup. And we're uploading all these ISOs to system RAM, which is the point of this project to demonstrate that
You
you can,
can do it.
yeah, you can do it. And as far as the hypervisor technology we're using, I am using Proxmox, which I use in my day-to-day like computer usage because I have a lot of different instances that I like to run at the same time, and dual booting just doesn't cut it.
Yeah, dual booting can be pretty finicky as well because I remember we had a laptop that ran both Windows 10 and Linux, and there was one time where Windows had to have an update. I forgot to switch it to Windows when the dual boot thing activated, and it
Right,
corrupted the
yeah.
operating system.
And then finally, I'm uploading the VirtIO Win drivers, which is what we're going to use to set up stuff in the VM after the fact so that everything is working the way we like it. All right, so that's all the ISOs uploaded. And now I'm going to go ahead and start initializing the demo VM.
Sweet.
And kudos to the people working on this open source project that have it still supporting the flippin' Windows XP like operating system. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, and we're also going to be installing a screen reader for it.
Yeah, exactly. Which it's crazy that there's even still a modern screen reader that does that.
Right, yeah.
So for the disk size, we're going to do 2.5 gigs because that's all we can really spare if we want to have like a decent amount of RAM.
Right.
And we're going to create it on the RAM disk. Alrighty. And we are going to do 2 cores and use the x86 version 3 CPU, and we'll go ahead and give it a gig of RAM. Oh, and we probably need to, we need to disable the ballooning as well. Alrighty. And then for networking, which is the important distinguishing factor here, we are using a local bridge that completely isolates the VM on its own subnetwork, and then we use a proxy running on the VM host to connect to the internet. So that's just a little fun detail there.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so we're finished with initializing it. So it's just going to go ahead and start that up. And we'll go ahead and start it and then open up the console.
Taito. We should leave that in.
Yeah. Alrighty. So, full transparency, this is the second time we're doing this portion of the setup because I accidentally realized or forgot that Vert Viewer doesn't show up in OBS in full screen. So, so we're just doing a quick format of the NTFS partition. Because it's an uninitialized disk, it doesn't really matter. Setup is copying files, and it's going like lightning fast. There we go. I can make the window a bit bigger, and that fixes it. But yeah, this is all happening like going from RAM to RAM. So it's insanely fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like usually this part takes like ages on a hard drive.
Right, yeah.
Especially on a hard drive of the time.
Right, yeah. Yeah, at least it's better than installing Windows 95 with like 15 floppy disks.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you imagine if Windows XP was able to like if you could install Windows XP through floppy?
Right? That would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
And we're already in the graphical installer. So it's giving us an estimate of 39 minutes. We'll see how accurate that is.
Yeah. An exciting new look. Fisher Price OS, am I right?
Like, that was literally just the aesthetic of the time.
Yeah.
Like, all the rounded, like, bumpers on everything.
Yeah, and all like the bright colors and stuff.
Yeah. And if I recall correctly, we will be able to see the out-of-the-box experience. So
yeah.
That'll be nice. All right, that's better.
Yay.
We see the actual setup screen now.
Yay.
Oh yeah, and I am not going to be answering comments on this video that ask, where did you find this in the license key? I will be blurring out the license keys, and
you'll need to find those on your own.
And the computer name, what should we call it?
Let's see. Think you should call it something.
Ram horn. And for the password, I don't freaking know. We'll just do password. Oh, the passwords don't match. Oh no.
Yeah, it's still like this part of the setup still uses like the Windows 2000 borders and stuff.
Right, yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember a time I was installing one of the Windows Whistler betas
Mm-hmm.
on VirtualBox, and I forgot to set the date behind the time bomb, so like it crashed midway through installation, and it was like critical setup error.
Oh no. Wow. It jumped from 34 minutes to 19.
I love it when modern technology screws with the OS like that.
Yeah, for real.
Like it's expecting something and it does something else.
Yeah, like their integration constants are just like completely irrelevant. All right, we're almost there.
You have to set like the time zone and
It's
stuff.
counting down minutes and seconds.
Were you able to set like the date and time or
Yeah,
whatever?
I
Okay.
was. All right. It is presumably entirely installed.
Let's hope,
Automatically adjust my screen resolution. Thank you, Windows.
let's hope we get audio. Yay!
Heck yeah.
That cheesy full motion video.
Yeah, for real. I love this so much. It's so aesthetic.
Yeah.
Click next to continue. Sure, automatic updates, even though that is not gonna work at all. My name, Isabel Santine.
Was it able to do like the internet thing or no?
No, because the network driver isn't installed.
Oh, I see.
So I gotta do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I made flowers as my
that's
icon.
cute.
All right, let's adjust the screen resolution here so that it's not like flipping painful.
Yeah, freaking 1024 by 768 or whatever.
Settings.
I mean, would most Windows XP computers have required you to install the network drivers separately?
If
Or
you were using a newer card, like the one that I'm emulating right now, then yes.
okay.
So let's go ahead and attach the other bootstrap disk so that we can get everything in there.
Yeah. Thank you for calling Windows support. We request that you activate your installation of Windows XP for.
All right. We've got the bootstrap ISO configured. So now let's go to my computer. Back when that was on the start menu, like holy moly.
Right.
All right, I gotta extract this.
As we were talking before we started the recording about the freaking file extraction wizard.
Yeah. I'll just make a new folder called drivers. Cool. All right. And it's weird. There's like no place to like find the device manager directly.
Huh.
You have to go through the network troubleshooter.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's so strange.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way people thought of it back then, I guess.
Right, yeah. My network adapter doesn't work.
They had to make it in trying to make it accessible for old people. They ended up making it more convoluted for young people who actually
Yeah,
knew what they were
exactly.
doing.
All right. Ethernet controller will update the driver. Install from a specific location. And we're going to go ahead and browse for
With Windows XP, everything is harder.
that. All right, we got the network adapter set up.
Sweet.
And next, we'll go ahead and add the VirtIO drivers.
Also, remember that article you came across like a couple years ago where it's like, we connected Windows XP to the internet. It didn't last long.
Yeah, that was crazy. Which is why we have it completely isolated on the network.
Right.
Like, no, ain't no way in the heck we are like adding this to the directly to the LAN with an internet connection. Like, holy moly. All right, now it's time to set up the network.
Oh, sweet. So you were able to get it installed after all? Or?
Yep.
Nice.
All right. So our IP address will be 10.10.11.2 with a subnet mask of 255.255.255.240. I can't believe I can remember all this just off the top of my head. I'm usually very bad at remembering things.
You remember what's important to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Windows XP bliss wallpaper.exe. The creepypasta of the century.
Real. All right. So let's go ahead and reconnect our Bootstrap disk so that we can install the browser.
Yeah. Also, I can't believe modern Firefox works with XP. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is crazy. It's not what we'll be using today.
Right.
In the interest of saving storage space, but
yeah. Yeah, you got Supermium, right?
Yep. Which actually works on Service Pack 3.
Yeah.
Oh, and that reminds me, before we install anything else, we gotta install the Oh no! All right. Looks like we are not doing that.
Install what?
I was gonna install the unofficial Service Pack 4.
Oh.
But oh well. Doesn't
Yeah.
seem like we'll be able to.
Yeah. Well, we did get it after all.
Yeah. Let's see if it'll install NVDA even.
Yeah.
Probably not. Yeah, we are officially out of space. So yeah, we are definitely stretching the limits here.
Okay. Well, guess that's it then.
Yep, that's the end of the fun.
Yeah. Well, this goes to show that even when we ran out of space, you can still install Windows XP completely onto a RAM disk.
Yeah, and it runs. It runs buttery smooth.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And you can install modern drivers to interface with like a hypervisor,
Yeah.
which is also a plus. Really, honestly, impressive.
Yeah. And thankfully, we have a Windows XP machine, or not a Windows XP, we have a Windows XP VM that we can remote into every now and then to check on each other's work because we already have
Exactly.
everything set up with the screen reader and my audio software and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. But yeah, this whole idea just originated from, hey, wait a minute. The Windows XP is a really small OS. We can install it on a RAM disk.
Yeah, exactly. And like it just goes to show like the pace at which technology like improves, especially in terms of computer hardware.
Right.
This was unthinkable 25 years ago.
I know, it's crazy. Yeah, it's. I was talking to Steve Williams one time, and I expressed the notion that I was like, the fact that we had gigahertz computer CPUs in the early 2000s boggles my mind.
Exactly.
Gigahertz in 2005. The
Yeah.
Xbox 360 had a 1 point something gigahertz CPU, and I'm like, that's insane.
Yeah, that's crazy. That we've even like it just shows like a mastery of that
Yeah,
part of like physics too, because like
yeah,
electronics are wild.
I know.
They're like some of the most deeply researched like aspects of physics, and we still discover new ways to do things.
Exactly. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video.
Yeah, thanks everyone so much for watching. As a bonus here, I will boot up the other VM just for funsies so that people can see everything else working.
Yeah,
But yeah, apart from that, hope you enjoyed. Hope this was a bit thought provoking, and we'll see you next time.
yeah. All right. Bye. Take care, folks.
Bye.